Agriculture on the move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Good day to you viewers and welcome to the program Agriculture on the Move. My name is Phillip Sydney. With me is our renowned chef from St. Lucia. His name is Satchell Orlando.
Did I
get it correct?
Yeah, absolutely, wonderful. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for being here, Orlando. I'll call you Chef Orlando from now on because that's how I know you to be.
Well, thank you.
You know, so Orlando, I'm happy that you are here on this program because St. Lucia is at a juncture where we are battling with a lot of obesity, hypertension, a number of issues,
Sure.
and those are lifestyle issues. In other words, it's what we eat,
Yes.
and what we don't eat, and how we eat.
Absolutely.
Okay. The other thing is we're trying in the ministry. We have a tagline, what is called "Eat Fresh, St. Lucia's Best," and we have been using that tagline for a while, and the main reason is to get St. Lucians to eat more or consume more of what is grown locally.
Sure.
You can grow it in your backyard.
Yeah.
You can buy it locally. You buy it from the farmer, so you put more dollars in his pocket. And of course, at the end of the day, our food import bill is lower.
Absolutely.
In 2015, our food import, 2013, sorry, our food import bill was $358 million plus.
Yeah.
It went down a bit, which I'm happy about. I'm not taking credit for that in terms of the programs that we're doing, but I still believe that the campaign that we have had over the years, like last year, or 2013, last year, our food import bill went down almost by $7 million. Okay,
Yeah.
so that is a significant drop, and I am sure this year is our aim to get it lower. So my thing with you, Orlando, as a chef, a renowned chef, somebody who has been around for a while, we need to concentrate on having us to consume what is grown locally and how to do it, how it's presented, how it's prepared.
Yeah.
So give me your take on that.
Well, I mean, thanks for the invitation to the show. I think you're right when you talk about some of the challenges that we have here in St. Lucia. The ingredients is critically important. I find myself, I've been a chef now for a number of years. I really believe that St. Lucia as an island could be seen as a culinary destination. But to become a culinary destination, we have to understand the valuation between agriculture and tourism. How do we marry the two so the two becomes one? Now, to do that, it comes down to our food concerns. How do we get our local producers, our local farmers to produce consistently? Because the problem with us as chefs is today put on the menu, tomorrow we can't find it.
All right.
So we need a consistency. Then we need the quality. We need the quality to be of a standard which we would happily eat ourselves, but we can happily sell to our customers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm happy that you make a point about the reality of our dietary. I mean, I think is how we eat, is how we consume the ingredients. If we find in too much oil, if we put in too much flour, these are all things which are going to cause a situation where we're in right now. So I think we need to look at a healthy way of eating in terms of less fats. In terms of the way we weigh our chickens, the way we weigh our pigs and everything else, and what we give them. It's one thing to say we do local organic, but then if we give them products which are not organic products, then you can't say organic. So you have to then look at that feeding program too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways to look at it. From the chef point of view, I think we as a chefs though now, we need ourselves to believe in our ingredients. Believe in the product of St. Lucia. So when our customers come here, we don't try to give them the best salmon from around the world. We want to give them the best local fish, you know what I'm saying, and cook it correctly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
But is that really happening, Orlando, at the hotels? Are we actually cooking our locally produced stuff for for our guests? or we're just cooking and we're giving them the same, stuff that they are accustomed to?
Well, the problem for us even in the islands is that we have allowed some of our customers to dictate to us what is it they want. We don't realize that, we're in the islands, we have to understand they've come so far for the sea and the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Now we need to get them to sea and the sand and the cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to do that, you need to present it in a way which they're more appealing to their eyes. I mean, so when you present something, it looks really nice, so they're going to try it. Second of all, I think we should stop doing silly words like, tonight is a Caribbean night in the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Every night's a Caribbean night.
Mm-hmm.
So in order for us to understand that value, we may have an Italian night in the Caribbean or a French night, but why we have a Caribbean night in the Caribbean?
Yes.
So those are everyday words which we need to push our guests towards.
But being a chef at what's it? Dashin?
Dashin,
okay. How, as the head chef there, how were you organizing your menu?
Well, I mean, I was the executive there for nearly 13 years, and I'm no longer there. I have opened my own restaurant called Orlando's. Mm-hmm. And in my time there, my challenge really was to farm to table. I introduced a lot of programs in getting the local farmers to come to the come to the hotel, and we buy products from them. You know what I mean? What we also did at Dashin was that I actually allow persons to we created and presented. So we did things like Dashin fries, we did things like green banana cakes, we did things like using cassava, which is a great one we love to talk about down the line.
Definitely, we will be talking about
cassava. Instead of crusting your fish with flour, we put cassava flour instead. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we took the mother ingredients and reinvent them in a more modern way.
Mm-hmm.
As you're saying, that's the old challenge. Mm-hmm. But I think there has to be a sense of belief in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem we need. We can have foreign chefs like myself. I mean, I am a British. Jamaican, Barbadian parentage.
Well, yeah, I know. You're British, Jamaican, Barbadian, St. Lucian parentage.
St. Lucian, yes. So now they've given me the flag.
Yes.
But the point I'm making to you is that coming from being of Caribbean parentage, I've seen a lot of ingredients which I grew up with in Jamaica and in the UK and myself. What can I take those ingredients and play around with them and make it in a more holistic way, a more presentable way? I think some of our chefs here are doing some really amazing stuff, but I think there's a long way to go. I haven't been here since 98 now. I really still seen a massive growth, but there's still more we can do.
Are you saying, okay, let's go back to our budding chefs.
Yeah.
I noticed you on one of the programs where you were the head chef in terms of evaluating some of our young local budding chefs. Can you tell me, or is it that we are really working with those youngsters to ensure that they can take over the restaurants at the hotels and use our own cuisine, our local stuff?
I would tell you that people don't get offended when I'm saying here, but we have a lot of great cooks here. Mm-hmm. The definition of chef, what I see it, is somebody who manages and control, and be able to manage your menus, manage your staff, direct your business, and that's the chef. Mm-hmm. So if you tell me we have a lot of good cooks on our way to becoming chefs, yes, we are on our program, because obviously having worked with tourist board in different areas and assisted in our young chefs, I've seen a lot of growth in it. A lot of our young up-and-coming cooks and chefs now have won many of competitions, and we've won SLSGA awards and everything else. So the program's underway. I think that the question that you ask is that we need to get our young cooks to become chefs, but need to know how to the next level. The next level isn't wearing your uniform on the street. The next level is taking responsibility for your position.
Okay, well, hold that thought there, because we are moving. But when I come back after the break, I need to take you into the kitchen of the wives. Okay?
Absolutely.
You will do for a break. Back soon.
Black sigatoka is a fungal disease which affects the leaves of banana and plantain plants. It causes a reduction in the size of the bunch and the quality of the fruit. In commercial banana and plantain production, black sigatoka disease is controlled with chemical as well as non-chemical measures. Chemical measures involve the application of spray oil and fungicides. However, it is neither practical nor safe to use agrochemicals to control black sigatoka in backyard gardens. Non-chemical measures include good agronomic and cultural practices such as weed control and proper drainage. Affected parts of leaves should be pruned or cut off from the plant. Use a clean, sharp cutlass or knife. Infected leaves should be disposed of properly or added to a compost heap.
For more information on how to treat and control black sigatoka on your farm or in your backyard garden, contact the Black Sigatoka Management Unit at 451-5491, 451-5894, or email bpmu@candw.lc. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Agriculture in collaboration with the International Cooperation and Development Fund of the Republic of China on Taiwan.
Welcome back to the program, Agriculture on the Move. With me is Chef Orlando, of course, our renowned chef. Orlando, we are going into what I think the nitty-gritty of the thing. To tell the housewives, tell our young cooks, as it were, what it is they can do in the kitchen that is healthy cooking. Mm-hmm. Give us some ideas.
Well, I think that, like with cooking, I started cooking as a young boy at home with my mom. Mm-hmm. And my mom took me around the market, and she took me to, and when I started showing interest, she stopped cooking. I got the cooking skills. Mm-hmm. One of the things I will say, one thing I love about the islands is that our parents take us to the market with us to buy. So that's a good thing. So we're on the right course. But I think what we need to do more as well is start get away from the foreign stuff and start using more of the local stuff. For instance, instead of doing fish cakes in your home, instead of using potato, I say we buy a lot of Irish potatoes. And a few months ago I did a program which in Fort St. Jacques there we got local Irish potato.
The white potato.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yes, yes.
But it's local.
Yes,
so
right.
I was so happy
Exactly.
for that. I mean, for all these years.
Yes.
So we can start using sweet potato more.
Sweet potato.
Yeah,
yes.
Because I use sweet potato more as our fries. Try to get into more that way. Mm-hmm. We can start using, start reducing the flour, and we start using a bit more things like cassava flour. Yeah, breadfruit flour. To do, making our cakes. Experiment a little bit more.
That's
I'm
right.
saying. Some of the things, though, are from a health and safety point of view, is storage in our food. How we store our foods. Sometimes we don't realize we get ourselves sick by we putting our meats on top shelf instead of putting it at the bottom. The reason why if the meat drips, it's going to kind of cause bacteria, cause contamination.
Correct.
In your own home. Yeah. You don't realize you make yourself sick until you go out, you eat somewhere else, and you go, I'm feeling sick, but you don't realize what you did at home that brought it on the restaurant.
Correct.
Things like when you do your rice, a lot of us on a Sundays, we cook our rice and we leave our rice out overnight because it's cooling down. Mm-hmm. Big mistake. Suggest you take the rice and lay it on a flat tray so it allows it to cool quicker and put it in the fridge. Okay. Because when you leave it in a pot, the top gets still cold, the bottom may be cold, but the middle is warm. There's where the bacteria is going to continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So there's little tips that you can try to do to safeguard yourself, especially at home. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Please keep your surfaces clean. It's critically important, again. You at home. I think when you're doing your chickens, I love our chickens here. I've seen some of
You mean our local chicken?
Local chicken, yes, absolutely.
Yes,
our local chicken. But another thing we do, I remember working in the hotels in England, and they used to get upset with me because I used to take the chicken and wash it with lime. Mm-hmm. And they go, but why washing it with lime? That's what my mom taught me, to wash it with lime. Yes. We kill all the bacteria and everything else. But that's our way we do things.
That's right.
Unfortunately, some of our international cooks are not accustomed to that. So they've taught our young cooks, when they go to the hotel, just take the chicken and throw it in the grill. Salt and pepper.
Yes.
Salt and pepper is not seasoning. Salt and pepper is salt and pepper. Seasoning is when we add the love to the food, man.
Right,
You blend your
cook
seasoning.
with love. I like that word.
You add your love.
Cook with love.
Cook with love,
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
You cook with love. So you add your seasonings, you blend your seasonings. You take your thymes, and you take your balsamic. You take all your chives. You cook
and
with love.
The aroma that comes out of this thing, man. Yes.
First rule, though, in kitchens: if you're in a bad mood, stay away from the kitchen. Because it will not taste good. The food will not taste good in a bad mood. So you've got to make sure you feel the experience of when you're cooking for somebody, you cook with love, and the person will appreciate the flavor you give to them.
Yes.
But that's in their own.
And there's so many ways you can prepare the stuff. And that takes me straight into, we have been trying to push cassava.
Yes.
The sweet cassava.
Yeah.
We know of cassava production here in time immemorial. right? But it is the bitter cassava where we do the farine
Yes.
and the salt, what would you call the cassava bread?
Cassava bread,
the
yeah.
flat thing. But right now, I mean, like Plas Cassava, which I worked with, and I can take credit for that. I worked with Joan in Plas Cassava
Okay.
in Anslavedi, and right now she's renowned. I mean, she sends her stuff all over the Caribbean. I mean, we went to Martinique, you know, and she's doing a number of variants of cassava
excellent.
bread. Right,
Yeah.
the saltfish, the hawanso,
Wow.
the cherry, and the works, and then that's a little niche market for her.
Yeah.
So we know about that, but we want to take it a step further by using the sweet cassava,
Yes.
which I think you are
Are familiar
aware
with? Yeah,
of.
yes, yes.
And we have done some work with it. For World Food Day, we worked with the schools. We worked with Cassius Comprehensive School. We worked with Marigot.
Yeah.
We worked with Clendon Mason in Dennery, and of course Vieux-Fort Campus B.
Okay.
And let me tell you, you would be surprised to see the array of dishes that was prepared by the students. We asked them to prepare 3 dishes, and they prepared about 15 dishes.
That's amazing
You know?
to see.
And that is amazing. So I really want to, pontificate on that, because I want people to know that we can use the sweet cassava in many, many, many ways and should be made as part of our dish. Before you come in, I also want to tell you that right now, Manny's Bakery, because we worked with them, FAO is also involved in this, and we had a baker here from Trinidad that showed them how to use the cassava mash with the flour to make bread.
Oh,
so right now you have a 40% cassava mash and 60% of flour, which I would like to get more cassava mash.
Yeah.
And so at least we have a bread now on the market.
Yes, absolutely.
And you can go to Manny's and you can get it. So that's another bread line. You understand?
Yeah.
So there's a lot we can do with cassava. So tell me something about you and sweet cassava.
Well, I think what you touched on is a very good point. It shows that in islands we are very innovative. We're very innovative. You push them, you give them a challenge, and they'll create with it.
That's right.
So, I mean, using cassava in bread is amazing, and I mean, I suspect over a period of time it will get even better.
Definitely.
Less flour.
Yeah.
Less flour. I mean,
less flour.
Which would be great. I mean, I think going forward, I mean, we have to challenge our young people to come up with new ideas, and I think cassava is a good one to use as a program going forward. I mean, this idea of doing this cassava festival we're looking at as an idea. I would tell you for sure that at my restaurant in Sufrede at Orlando's, we use cassava in many ways. We use cassava to making desserts.
Right.
So you can take the cassava flour and then put butter with it and make a crumble mixture. So then what you got to do is caramelize your fruit, put your crumble mixture on, bake it, and you're good to go. Cassava crumble. You know what I'm saying? We use cassava to making bakes. You know what I mean? So we put a little bit of flour, less flour, but more cassava, and try to do bakes with it. I mean. We also do cassava in terms of which we can question our chicken or our fish. So again, we get away from the flour.
That's right.
It's all about coming up with new ideas. I mean, the challenge with cassava is to understand the components of it, the starchiness. So you got to work the program. It's like anything else. You cannot just grab it and use it. You have to do a few mistakes before you get it right.
Yes, of course. Definitely,
So that's the nature of
definitely.
any product you're using with.
Yeah.
And I think when you're making, you've got to understand that cassava is very starchy. So if you make it, if you use the flour, you know for sure you got a nice firm on your chicken or fish.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be making the bakes, again, you got to make sure you have enough like baking powder to compound the weight of the flour and on the cornmeal. But again, it's all about trial and error in the beginning.
Yes.
But once we get to a stage where we can be consistent with it, you'll find us getting into a lot of different ideas, but I think this is a way to go forward. And I think if we can then get our students and cooks to be competitive against each other,
Yes.
you start raising the communication with cassava. Get the hoteliers to start using cassava in their everyday mixtures.
That's right.
That's the way to go forward.
Definitely.
It's going to take a little while, though.
Yeah,
to get
but
there.
as we're about to go to a break, when we come back, I need to talk about our Cassava Festival,
Yes.
which is a big thing. We
Okay.
want to get going,
Okay.
and then we need people to know about it.
Sure.
We need to communicate.
Communicate
We
it
need
and
to publish this thing.
share the love.
So there's a Cassava Bliss
Yes, so
that we
we'll share the love.
We'll share the love.
We'll share the love.
We are due for another break. We'll be back soon.
family time is a healthy time, and a healthy family eats smart. Local fish and seafood from fishermen and farmers that you trust with your family's health is always fresh. Choose fresh seafood because it's packed with nutrients. St. Lucia's fish and seafood producers meet every government standard for health and safety, high quality, fresh local food products straight from the fisherman to you. Choose St. Lucian fish and seafood at your local grocers and choose a healthy lifestyle for your entire family.
I use fresh local fish right there from the fisheries department. Eat fresh, buy local.
St. Lucia's fishermen produce an abundance of fresh foods, highly nutritious and incredibly tasty. Together when it's most important. Healthy families. Buy fresh, eat fresh.
Welcome back to the program. Orlando, we're talking about cassava, sweet cassava.
Yeah.
I know what I would like to see happen. Maybe it might be a policy decision by the government. A lot of flour is being used at Bodley.
Yeah.
Okay, I am saying, and they have land up there, and cassava can grow on scrubland.
Sure.
Right.
You go anywhere.
So I am saying here, with the 800 bags of flour or more they're using, or whatever it is, over whatever period, that can be cut down by half. You understand?
Do you think you're pissing me off with the flour industry can get?
Well, no. We have to think healthy.
Of course.
We have a nation to feed healthy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The hospitals, they use a lot of flour,
Yeah.
which is not. I mean, it's not the
No,
right
no,
thing
no,
to
no,
do.
no.
So we need to have a policy on that. The school feeding program.
Is a lot of
Okay.
flour.
We need to get our cassava in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely,
And the
yeah.
list goes on, and get it into our kitchen. Okay. So if we can do that, obviously we can see where we're going from a health
Point of view,
perspective.
yeah.
Secondly, it's another market or another crop in our diversification drive for the farmer.
Yes, going
so
forward.
the farmer now can grow, right? You talk about unemployment. So here is an opportunity for those youngsters that have nothing to do, right? Can go into cassava production.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of opportunity. So leading the way forward, I'm thinking here with that program, we are hoping now again to further sensitize the public using the Cassava Festival, which I know that you are aware and you are going part and parcel.
Yeah.
How do you see that, with the way forward?
Well, I think, the Cassava program is a great opportunity for persons who have a creative mind. I mean, and maybe, if this is the right way to go, we get it correct, this could be another thing to add onto the calendar going forward.
You're right.
You're saying it's a calendar event, which is, it's always difficult to get these things on a calendar event, but I think if you can get it to a point where you are recognized as a calendar event, people come, and you get persons from around the regions to come down with their cassava.
That's right.
And showcase the cassava.
That's right.
What I'm going to do on the day, we're going to show you some demonstrations. We'll do a menu which you can buy from us. You'll be able to buy the cassava in chicken, with fish,
Yes.
with desserts. We'll do a cassava menu.
Right, definitely.
I know that you are trying to do a few things in terms of the festival itself.
Yes.
I would like us to become, the festival becomes, even if you could come with a cassava dance, I don't know.
Yes,
That's
we have that too, we have that
flow
too.
that conversation.
Yes, I will give you some details as far as the event is concerned.
I think that'd be kind of fun thing to do. But the whole idea is to generate the interest and persons see it as a way forward, not as a step backwards.
That's right.
Because a lot of our agricultural concepts do take a lot of time, and today's kids are more computerized, they're
Yes.
more media savvy, they're not into going back into the field and going digging cassava. But if they can see the value of cassava, they may well go back into it.
That's right,
You know what I'm
that's
saying? So
right,
we need
that's
to
right.
somehow sensitize them and to show them the value of cassava and other ingredients here of St. Lucia, which has something to died away a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think cassava is a good way to move the ball forward. You know what I mean?
Yes,
To the next,
definitely.
you know what I mean? Move the
Because
ball
you see, that festival, the real objective is really to sensitize the public
Yes.
for looking at the many uses, the various dishes that can be made with sweet cassava.
Okay.
So we're going to have, everything has to be local. Everything has to be local. Whatever you use.
Yeah.
You use the chicken has to be local.
Yeah.
Your meats have to be local.
Excellent.
So they're going to be all the wild pork.
Yes.
The regular pork that's produced by the farmers.
Excellent.
Okay. The seafood vendors are going to be on board,
Yes.
so they will marry, cassava, dishes with with seafoods, and of course we do not want to leave out our vegan.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we have Prince Kailash and his group are going to be there because we need to tell and show St. Lucia how to eat properly, how to eat healthy.
Yes.
That will be driven by a number of things you mentioned. Because don't forget, like I said, it's going to be in Fordor.
Yeah.
Fordor is in Dennery.
Dennery.
And if you know, I don't know if you know Dennery well, right? Up in Oleon, I mean, I was amazed. I did some consultancy with ICA, and I went up to look at cassava production.
Yeah.
And I was amazed to see the number of people who are into cassava production up there.
Wow.
And you see those persons we see on the
I
road?
should go and see them, yeah.
You see those guys you see with the baskets on their head, and they walk from
miles,
all over the place. They go from cul-de-sac and they walk to Roseau. They walk to the offices. They are from Oleon.
That's
And
amazing.
let me tell you, I mean, that is a lot of work in the hot sun. Okay, so I buy from them, not because of me, but I appreciate the effort.
The effort goes into
Because
it.
you see, instead of being idle, there is something for them to do.
Yeah.
So I want them to be involved in that festival too,
Festival.
so they can come in. And everybody in that area, I want to give them at least a chance to come in and to showcase what they do. We're also hoping to have the mill flare because they produce honey in the area.
Yeah.
There's a guy, Elton Joseph, he produces soap.
So,
right?
yes, yeah.
I mean, and so I want him to be there. Even the charcoal people, right? So we want to have a potpourri of things there to showcase, so to keep the youngsters in at Fondor for the day, from 11 until about 6 o'clock.
Well, it's a great idea. I think there has to be a fun element.
Yes.
There has to be a fun element and a reason for doing this. There's a reason for it because we're looking at a healthy lifestyle.
That's
we're
right.
looking for longevity and taking care of our diabetes situation. On the other hand, you also need to look at our culture and our young people and let them understand the value of reasons why to do it.
That's right.
So they say, okay, I'm going to do this cassava, but maybe it may be an idea we look at if you get cassava, do it in like a packet and give everybody a piece of cassava to go with.
Yes.
So they can go play with it.
Yes, they'll be tasting too.
Tasting
the
cassava.
Yes.
But I think going forward, the cassava is a great product to use, and I think it's a very and I think we've got to tell a little storytelling of the cassava story.
Yes. You have to go back in time.
You have to go back in time. South America, where there's a lot of South Americans who use cassava in South America and Asia. You know what I'm saying? So those are things. We think these are indigenous to the islands, but they actually came here from somewhere.
Yeah. Final words from you, because we're just about ending in the next 1 second.
Yeah. Well, obviously, just a quick few notes on. Thank you for the opportunity. Obviously, Orlando's restaurant has been there 3 years now.
Okay.
We're a small restaurant in Sioux Fair. Come to the art of tourism. I always tell people that. The art of tourism, it is Sioux Fair.
Yeah, the Mecca.
The Mecca. We have some challenges in terms of the fire recently.
Yes.
So we have a few of my friends who are misplaced in their houses and everything else. So we'd love to do some supports down there if you come down and support the tourism down there and our culture. Our young cooks, just like a word for young cooks, come to our industry, you need to have a health card. And that's just me and my conversation.
Yes.
And what has happened to me over the years is that people come for jobs, looking for interviews, and they come without a health card, and then I said, I want you, then you have to go back and get a health card. Come prepared. Come prepared for a job. You may not get a job that one, but at least you're prepared to the next job.
That's right.
So you cannot go into our industry without a health card.
That's right.
So just a little point of conversation for any young budding persons in our industry.
Okay.
And I want to thank you. And first and last note, thank our vendors, our farmers.
Farmers, yes.
Oh, man,
definitely.
and our farmers and so on. We need to thank those guys.
Well, thank you very much,
Thank
Orlando,
you so much,
for being here. Okay. St. Lucia, you have been watching Agriculture on the Move. I want to thank you, the viewers, for viewing. Dwayne and his team at GIS, thank you for putting the program together. And eat fresh.
St. Lucia's best.
Bye. I'm Phillip Sydney.
Thank you.
Thanks, Orlando.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the Move.
Agricole en mouvement.